Well, welcome to Tuesday's Tools on Purpose at the Business on Purpose podcast. Tuesdays are all about equipping you guys for the tools that you need to run your business with intention and purpose. Now, our mission here at BOP is to liberate business owners from chaos so that you can make time for what matters most. My name's Patrice Miles. I'm one of the coaches on the team, and every Tuesday, I like to dive into the world of tools because in a world where your time is your most precious asset, finding the right tools to streamline and operate your business can make really all the difference. So, in each episode, I bring you interviews with experts, I share success stories, provide step by step guides to empower you on your business journey. But remember, guys, it's really not about having the right tools. It's about actually using them to create a meaningful and fulfilling business. So I'm super excited. Today's topic is Proudly, and our guest today is my friend Michele Williams with Proudly. Now, Proudly has been a BOP client for a long time now, and they have been implementing the tools on the roadmap for years. Michele and her son have also been to Nigeria with me to work with my staff at Care Africa. So again, I'm really excited to have her today so she can tell us all about this tool called Proudly. Michele, welcome to the podcast. Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Hey, good morning, Patrice. Thank you so much for having me on. So I joined Pay Proudly about 2.5 years ago and sit really in between the space between working directly with our founder, Jeff Main, and communicating and developing the strategy and the vision for the business, but then also implementing it and converting that and pulling it through to the sales side. So it's kind of in the strategic space, but it's also in the business development and sales side as well. So it kind of touch various facets of the business, as most people in on this podcast could appreciate, with the org chart and how people sit inside of the organization, is that kind of taking on multiple roles right now, but we are in the process of hiring other people and kind of branching that down. So for now, I'm right now in the kind of strategic business development space.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and we know you have a dog because we heard. Now, tell me a little bit about, I
Yes.
know you're married, you have a son.
I am. So we're so lucky. My son and I, Gage, he's a senior in high school. I'm getting ready to
Wow.
be an empty nester. So I
So
heard somebody
crazy.
just the other day, I was reading something that said, you feel like you've got this just tennis ball kind of lodged in your throat. Like you can't swallow it, you can't move it. It's kind of in that space, but really celebrating kind of what this means for him and transitioning on. But I was a single mom for about 10 years. So he and I are
Mhm.
super close. And so it's a big move, I think, for probably both of us, but we're both really excited. And so I am not a single mom anymore because I got married on leap year 4 years ago, right before COVID hit. So we got married on February 29th, not knowing what was about to unfold. And so we being leap year too, which is so characteristic of us, if anybody knows Jake and I, is that we don't have really an anniversary. We don't have a date to celebrate except for every 4 years. So I told him he's got to save up, and so no pressure, but it's got to be big on the fourth year.
There you
And so here we
go.
are on the fourth year.
That's awesome.
We'll see. I know. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell us, what exactly is Proudly?
So, Pay Proudly, we are in the merchant processing space or credit card processing space. We really work with business owners to make it possible, make it easy and fast and as least expensive as possible to get paid. And so that can mean working with electronic checks, setting them up to be able to accept credit cards and debit cards. Maybe it's a QuickBooks integration, but we really work with business owners so that they ideally aren't spending their time chasing checks and payments, but they really are making it optimizing their payment cycles and streamlining that so that they can get paid as fast and as simplistic as possible. We don't want to create these big bloated processes to get paid faster, but then also at a really low cost. People can really avoid, business owners often avoid, having it or accepting credit cards because of the fees that are associated with it.
Mhm.
And so we can help really develop the program that's going to work best for them and as low as zero fees to be able to accept credit cards. So no more chasing checks, no complicated processes, really simplistic processes with zero to low fees to be able to do that. So that's really what that's really what we do. And what's unique about us too is that our mission is to provide clarity and charity to the community. And so clarity, helping business owners to really
Mhm.
understand that piece of their business and to be able to optimize it and make good business decisions. But then the charity piece is that we do take about 10% of all of the fees that are collected and push them out to support our local charities and communities where our merchants are located. So we do that every month. And then we do a big one at the end of the year to push out to local charities. In fact, Care Africa is one of the ones that we support.
Yeah, I love that clarity and charity as far as your mission is concerned. And yes, Care Africa has been a recipient of one of those checks because my business on purpose uses Pay Proudly for all of our credit card processing and check collection. So tell me a little bit, why should a small business owner use Pay Proudly?
So kind of pointing back to the mission too is in that clarity piece, but in the charity pieces on the clarity side is that we have found that the payment processing, credit card acceptance, that kind of space, that's not probably the most exciting piece of a business. Most business owners don't know a whole lot about it. And we get it. They're really more focused on doing what they do. They're more focused on building homes, or they're more focused on running landscape businesses, or more focused on being chiropractors, is that they're not really focused on that piece. But that piece can be a really big piece, a component of the business. It's the lifeblood of a business. If you don't get paid, then your business is not going to sustain for very long
Mm.
at all. And so we really want to work with business owners and help them to understand that piece of their business so that they then are informed to be able to make the best decisions for the business. And so that's a huge part. That's if you know that we want to work with business owners, or we want business owners to work with us so that they can kind of get that clarity and get that information from somebody that they trust. Unfortunately, our industry is fraught with kind of snake oil salespeople and just trying to make a
Mhm.
quick dollar, and very transactional. And so we're very relational. We take the time to get to understand a business owner's business and what their needs are and how they process, how would they like to accept payments, so that we can help to build that solution for them, but then also stay with them throughout their time in business and be able to provide solutions. Or if things don't go right, we're there for them. So that's really it, is business owners that want to accept payments, they don't know anything about it, they don't really know who they can trust, and we want to step in and be that trusted person in this space for them so that they can make good business decisions around that piece.
Yeah, no, I love that. And, I see P&Ls all the time, especially, when I get new clients and I see these huge amount of credit card processing fees or bank fees or ACH fees. Tell me, what does your ideal client look like for Pay Proudly?
I love this question because we've really taken the time to develop a kind of an infographic, even that's called our best fit customer BFC. And so it's got kind of the red to all the way to green. And what does that look like in between? And even a checklist that goes through that. And so some of the criteria that really goes into our best fit customer or our deal client is, small, mid-sized businesses and working directly with the business owners, or maybe even their kind of accounting teams or CFOs, if they're at that size yet, but that they are running credit cards anywhere between kind of 7,500 and above per month, in taking in checks or credit cards and electronic payments. So that's how much they're kind of ideally processing. And we say that just because if they're not quite at that level, there's probably solutions that are really good for them that are just simple. They're really easy, like Square. At that point, people outgrow Square, which is really key to understand. That is that Square fits in a really great place, but continuing on with it often isn't the best solution, but it can be in that early stage. So after the kind of the $7,500 a month mark and above is where we really can step in and help to optimize that space. And so in a variety of industries, we really are focused most heavily on and serve folks that are in kind of the construction, home building, home services space. And then also in the landscape space, we have a really great solution that's in the landscape as well as landscape supply space, kind of in the cosmetic, medical, or
Mm.
chiropractor, kind of the non-insurance medical side of things. We work a lot with dentists and orthodontists that are in that space. We have a really unique solution for them as well. And then hospitality, food and beverage, inns, that sort of thing. That's another big sector of ours as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Is there any additional information you'd like to give our listeners in regards to Pay Proudly before we go today?
Yes, I would. Is that one of the things that we have found and that we have been really stressing to our audience and to everybody else's audience that is in that small business, mid-sized business owner space is taking the time to audit your rates and fees on the credit card side at least once a year. Unfortunately, because people don't typically know a whole
Mhm.
lot about this space. It's the lifeblood of your business, but they don't take time to look at it. And unfortunately, what often happens is what we call rate creep or hidden fees is that they may think, oh, we've got this rate of 2.5% because that's kind of what they're told. But if you audit your statement or you have us audit your statement, we go through and really flesh out the hidden fees, statement fees, technology fees, all these kind of things that they layer in there
Mm.
over time. And so then you ultimately look up and we find that you're at a 4% rate, not at a 2.5% rate. And so how to get it back down and save a significant amount of money. It is so worthwhile. It doesn't take long. We have step-by-step instructions that show people how to do it themselves. But even building that in is kind of an annual process for them to do or for their accounting team to do because it saves a tremendous amount of money every year. And just a really quick example, we worked with a local dentist not about a year ago, and it's somebody that we've known, and we had just been encouraging them too of like, hey, let us just audit your statement. Like, we just want to make sure that you are at the best rate possible. Unfortunately, it's so common for folks in the merchant processing space to just stack and start raising rates without letting you know. They don't have to alert you, and so it happens all the time. And so this particular dentist had said, oh, I'm sure we're good. We've been with the same provider for 8 years. We don't really know them, but I'm sure they value our business and are taking care of us. Well, we went through finally and got their statement. We just audited it. It takes a couple minutes for us to do that. And we fleshed out hidden fees and rate creep that had happened over 8 years. And so when we came in, we were able to save them about $6,000 a month in
Oh,
fees. That is a huge,
wow.
huge number. It's unbelievable. And they said, well, please just tell us at least we've got like one of the better rates for this space, for in the dental or orthodontist space. And unfortunately, because it was a really savvy business owner, and unfortunately, we had to say, no, this is probably one of the highest ones that we have seen. And it's only because they just didn't lay eyes on it and they didn't know
Mm.
what to look for. And so we understand business owners are busy running their businesses and running it and
Mhm.
experts at what they do. And so we are happy to provide instructions step by step, super simple, how to audit your statement every year, or we encourage you to reach out to us. We are absolutely happy to do that. We run a really quick report that kind of highlights it all. So you have it there in black and white, and then even tell you how to lower your rates and how to get it lower and avoid all those fees as well. So that is probably the best tool that somebody could implement in their business and not go 8 years without looking at it and then find that you're paying or could save thousands and thousands of dollars every month, which is that's a huge number.
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. So not only are you going to give me clarity, but you're also going to save me some money. So I love it. Michele,
Yes.
thanks so much for joining us. It sounds like step one really is for people to contact you to kind of get that audit done that only takes a few minutes so they can really understand exactly what they're being charged and if they do have that best rate. What is the best way for someone to get a hold of you if that's something that they want to do?
So the easiest and quickest way is hello@payproudly.com. And so if you email us at that email address, we'll get right back to you. We can either provide the step-by-step instructions if you want to do an audit yourself, make it really easy with a video that shows you how to do that, or we are happy to do it for you and provide that report. We can turn it around really very quickly. It only takes us a couple minutes. So we would love to be able to provide that for you. So just reach out to us via email and we'll make sure that we make that happen.
That's awesome. And Kevin will also make sure to put that email address up there for you all. So that way you can get a hold of Michele and get that audit started. So that is a wrap, guys, for Tuesday's Tools on Purpose. So enjoy your new tool, Pay Proudly. But remember, guys, every small action does lead to big results. So what action are you going to take today in regards to Pay Proudly? So write it down and then go and implement. For those of you that are just tired of living in chaos and you're ready to actually start working on your business instead of in it, please feel free free to contact me at patrice@mybusinessonpurpose.com. I'd, of course, love to connect with you, learn more about your business. And then we also have our Healthy Business Owner Assessment. So if you are brave enough to take it, it takes only about 7 minutes, and you will very quickly find out what your score is on the health of your business. Kevin's going to put that QR code up and also the website address. So again, if you're brave enough to find out what your score is, go ahead and take that test. Just so you know, a 0 is not good, guys, but a 40 is a perfect score. So go find out now. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you next Tuesday.